shall we?
Let's.
All right, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning, everyone. Today is February 24th, 2022. Welcome to the Board of Shawnee County Commissioners. On my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1, and on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. I'm Aaron Mays. I'm the chair this year, representing District 3. Madam Clerk, first item, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
There are several items on the consent agenda today. Is there a motion?
I'll move for.
Go ahead.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under Election Commissioner, Secretary of State, $30,000 is for the Elvis voter registration fees. I usually don't pause reading these vouchers, but I had to dig into the Elvis voter registration software, and so I was directed to the state of Kansas, and no kidding, they have blue suede news, and this gets better. It says, when we talk about Elvis, we'll not be talking about rock and roll. We won't be debating whether he's in the building or not. When we talk about Elvis, we're talking about the new election voter information system. This is something the feds require of each state to have a database on voters, but I just thought Elvis. All right. Who knew? All right, I'll continue here. Under general expenses, Samco Inc., $68,800 is for repair of sewer line at Adult Detention Center. Under Sewer District, City of Topeka, totaling $191,231.39 is for fourth quarter operations and maintenance of Sewer Districts number 2, number 6, number 65 in the Sherwood District. Under Solid Waste Recycling, Elliott Equipment Company, totaling $182,116 is for a front-end load refuge truck. And if there's no other questions or comments, I would move for approval of the voucher.
I'll second one of the more entertaining voucher reports I've seen.
Elvis, thank you very much.
All right, those in favor say aye. Oh, sorry, motion was made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval of the correction
Second.
orders. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Weed Department number 1, consider request for approval and signatures for the 2021 Annual Noxious Weed Eradication Progress Report and the 2022 Annual Noxious Weed Management Plan.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Landon, Director of the Weed Department. These two reports are just something we have to submit to the state annually every year. The first one is just the eradication report. It covers disbursements of chemicals, how many weeds that's in Shawnee County, the estimated acreage, that type of stuff. The second one is just our management plan describing what we're going to do in 2022 to combat the weeds in Shawnee County. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for John?
No.
I would move for approval.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, John. Next item, please.
Item C, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider approval of request to utilize the Sourcewell Cooperative to purchase a Kubota U35 mini excavator at a cost of $56,730.97 from capital outlay funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. This morning we're here asking permission to purchase a mini excavator. If you remember correctly, we were awarded these funds at a capital outlay process last year. Brent Hillsetter and our park supervisors think that this would be a better fit for us than the 2002 backhoe that we'd like to replace. It's a little bit smaller piece of equipment, so it's a little easier to get in and out of parks and tight spaces. We did check with Betty Griner in Audit Finance about using the Sourcewell to do this, Sourcewell Cooperative, to make the purchase, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Tim? Seeing none, I'll make a motion that we approve the request.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Thanks, Tim. Next item, please.
Item C2, public hearing and request approval of Lake Shawnee Campground Design Build to be funded by the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. So we are asking to use the design build method to complete the renovations at the campground. We have put notice in the newspaper of record prior to this meeting, so we believe we're compliant with everything that we need to do at this point. We feel like the design build method will give us some advantages in the fact that this is a pretty tight turnaround and we have some constraints on when we want to do construction. Obviously, we don't want to, we would love to be open as much as possible during this process. We will have to close at some point. We don't want to interfere with TARC, for example, next winter. So we think the design build process would allow us to complete this in a shorter time period, and it will also take, quite frankly, some of the pressure off our staff and not have to, necessarily be day in and day out project manager on this. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Tim?
Yeah, just sure. Tim, today's really not the day of a presentation. We've talked about the campground renovation during budget time. We talked about it during our discussion of the ARPA money. But do you want to just kind of highlight some of the things that you are anticipating changing with the campgrounds for
Sure.
$2 million?
Yeah, absolutely. And I did bring some staff, so if there's questions I can't answer, we can bring some other folks up. But this would really be a pretty extensive renovation of the campground. And the current campground is just not big enough to handle the new, bigger RVs of today's camping world. So we'll be putting in new sewer, new electrical, new pads, bigger pads. You'll actually, quite frankly, see a little bit of a reduction in the number of spaces that are at the campground, but it'll be much better organized. It'll all have services as opposed to just a few right now. We're talking about putting in some cabins out real close to the lake on a small peninsula there. That, I think it's a beautiful setting for it. I think they'll be very popular, be rented out quite a bit. So those are just some of the highlights. Folks won't have to drive across the street anymore to dump their waste. They'll be able to do that right where they're at. So,
Do we see the occupancy of the campgrounds being very well utilized?
absolutely. I mean, a silver lining, I guess, of the pandemic has been that camping has just gone through the roof. So we will continue to have tent spaces as well, so it's not all camping. But yes, the campground has been utilized very, very well over the last few years.
Do we track where the campers are coming from? If they're coming from within Shawnee County, if they're coming in from within Kansas, or if they're coming from elsewhere?
Well, we do. We have complete information on everyone that stays there.
And so what do we see? Do we see where are our campers coming from?
Well, I don't really have, sorry, I didn't bring that information today, but and I don't think these guys probably have it either. Jess Rakestraw handles all our reservations. We do take all of our reservations online. That's an improvement that but people can come in and do them in person, but most of them are taken online, and that's an improvement we made recently.
And I guess really where I was going is you people that are utilizing the campground, are they by and large coming from outside of Kansas? And so these are people that are coming to our area would not be Shawnee County taxpayers.
Well, I believe that a good portion of them are. However, we do have folks that enjoy going out to the lake during the weekend that live right here in Topeka. So we get a pretty solid mix.
Commissioner Rippon.
With these improved services, will we be reevaluating our fees?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, Bill. We definitely will be raising our rates a little bit. We are pretty inexpensive as we sit today, but with these improvements, our rates will probably go up slightly.
Any further questions?
And then, yes, Tim, where do you go from here? So if we receive approval today for design build, what's your next steps?
Well, I believe after this, we would put together an RFP and get that out and see what we get. And hopefully, we have a good, there's good reception to that. We get several people bid on the project, and we'll choose a vendor. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So, all right, well, to make sure we do this the right way, I'm going to make a motion that we go into a public hearing for this item.
Okay, I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. We are in a public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item? Seeing none, is there anyone wishing to speak against this item? Okay. Seeing none, then I would move that we close the public hearing and approve the request.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Next item, please.
Item D, Department of Corrections, number 1, request approval to accept amended costs for Phase 1 roofing replacement at the Department of Correction. The increase is $39,738.76, which is under the approved project budget. Funds for this increase will be paid through ARPA funding.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. As we, this request is just to let you to ask for approval of the increase in cost to the phase. There was a increase to supplies and the demands of doing this. It's the overall cost has stayed under the predicted or anticipated budget. We did work through Betty and their office regarding this for funds through the ARPA funds to be able to expend to use this money, but this will finalize this project and we can move on to phase 2.
Questions?
Move for
Brian.
approval.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item D2, consider authorization and execution of contract C68-2022 with IDEMIA? Oh,
You said it right.
there you go. For
At least that's
maintenance
what I
on
pronounced
adult and juvenile fingerprinting systems through February 23rd of 2023 for the amount of $5,040 to be paid out of the fiscal year 22 detention budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. This is just the continuation of a contract we already have for the maintenance for our fingerprint machines for both the juvenile and adult detention center. These obviously are mission critical. We are by statute required to do fingerprints, and this is the company we work through. They've done very well over the years. We did get this approved through our budget this year, and we have the funds available. And I'd stand for any questions you may have.
Any questions on this item?
I'd move for approval.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next item, please.
Item E, Facilities Management. Number 1, consider approval to reject a single bid and to rebid the lawn mowing and groundskeeping for the courthouse, J.P. Lewis Health Building, Van Sickle Health Building, and the Elections Office.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. As the clerk said, we put out an RFP and only received one bid. The bid was significantly higher than what we were paying last year, so we would like to reject the bid and try again.
Any questions for Nelda?
I would move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Nelda. Next item, please.
Item F, Human Resources. Number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2022-16, adopting amendments to the Shawnee County Human Resources Policy Manual.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. We have 2 different adds to the Human Resource Policy Manual that we'd like to requests be approved today. They are the weather-related closure and a new hire referral bonus. The first one would be the weather-related closure, and I'll just refer you to the chart here. In this last month alone, we've had 2 weather-related closures for Shawnee County. This is very rare, but we do have essential personnel who end up working during that time. So in the event of a closure, any non-essential personnel that does not work would receive 8 hours total of administrative leave. And that's exactly what we're doing today. Non-essential personnel that works a partial shifts receive the difference of their scheduled hours worked in administrative leave up to 8 hours. Essential personnel that work a full shift would receive 1 hour of annual leave for every hour worked. Essential personnel that work a partial shift would receive 1 hour of annual leave for every hour worked and receive administrative leave for the difference of scheduled hours up to 8 hours and get the equivalent of annual leave for the time that they work. For the next addition, it would be a new hire referral bonus, and the total of the referral bonus would be $3,000. That would be $1,500 for the referring employee and $1,500 for the new hire employee. It would be given out in 5 increments upon hire at 90 days, 180 days, 270 days, and upon completion of a year, with $300 going to each party as long as they're both still employed. The applicant must identify the county employee that's referring them when they fill out their application. Human Resources would track the newly hired employee and the referring matched employee. Human Resources would communicate with the departments and the new employee with regard to the bonus, and Human Resources would decide with the departments what positions would go and be eligible for the bonus. It would only include full-time permanent positions, no intermittent positions would be involved. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Questions for Angela? Commissioner Cook?
Can we talk about the referral program? I think that's really, is it limited to any department, or is it the whole county?
The whole county would have them, but we are limiting it to difficult to fill positions that have been open for more than 60 days, chronically vacant. And we would work with the department heads and elected officials to make sure that we all agree on the criteria for adding something to this bonus. So no, it would not be every position.
So as an employee, how would I know what positions are marked as this so that I can make sure that my friends and family know about this?
They will be out on the website, and it would say that it's eligible for a referral bonus once we get the program all set up. And there will be a place, we're working with IT, for you to enter the name of the person who refers you.
Is this something that could be sent out to the employees by mass email on a regular basis?
Absolutely.
I think that, I mean, not everybody's going to go to the website and look, but if we can get this out to all of our employees, and you're talking about, for each referral that stays for up to a year, that could be, $1,500.
Right.
And so if Commissioner Rippon can recruit, 5 people, he's paid for his Christmas, I think.
Almost.
So, but I think it's important that we get these emails out to the employees that would know and not just have it on one spot, and that way we can make sure that we track it and get the word out.
That is easy enough to do. We'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
Angela, I know that there are certain jobs that are probably going to be on this from the get-go. Have we identified those yet, and are we ready to say them publicly?
We have identified some, not all. The Human Resources payroll position is one that would be on there. Kurt Niehaus has some positions over at Public Works that would be on there, and we're working with other department heads to determine exactly what positions they would like and at what level we would put their positions on there.
Anything else?
Move for approval?
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Next item, please.
Item 5, public comment.
All right, is there any member of the public wishing to speak today? Seeing none, next item, please.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Okay, are there any department heads that wish to speak? It looks like the sheriff might be getting up.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Hill, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. We just have a short video of our end-of-the-year stats that a couple of minutes we wanted to present. Personally, wanted to thank you gentlemen for your diligent hard work and all the funding process. So I guess we want to show you what we're doing with the money you're giving us. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Christian.
2021 has been another busy and productive year here at the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. Burglary and theft cases continue to decrease as well. The number of individuals arrested in possession of methamphetamine has greatly increased. We continue to see a high number of felons in possession of firearms in Shawnee County. The Sheriff's Office drone program has successfully located multiple wanted suspects and missing individuals. The total number of registered offenders in Shawnee County has been increasing each year. Our fugitive warrant unit successfully served over 4,700 warrants. Our drug enforcement unit and interdiction team continue working hard to remove criminal activities and illegal narcotics from our community. Our canines were deployed over 360 times. In December of 2021, Sheriff Hill joined together with the Shawnee County District Attorney Mike Kagan, Topeka Police Chief Brian Wheelis, and multiple other agencies to form the Kaw Valley Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force.
The trafficking cases are harder to make, but that's what we want to focus on, and we intend on dismantling some of this organized trafficking and narcotics that's running through Shawnee County as well as these other jurisdictions.
Part 1 crimes are still trending downward. This decline is due to a combination of community awareness and prevention, proactive policing, and more. Sheriff Hill anticipates these types of crimes to continue to decrease with the partnership of our community and law enforcement. With the continued partnership between the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office and our community members, Sheriff Hill fully expects these trends to continue. Sheriff Hill is looking forward to continuing these efforts to combat crime and foster great relationships with our community. Sheriff Hill and all of us here at the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office are looking forward to 2022 with all of you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Sheriff, the offender registry number keeps going up and up, and I know that that's creating more of a drain on your department. Can you speak to some of what does it take for your office to monitor all the offender registration?
Well, it's quite the process, and as you're aware with some of the movement that's happening here in this courthouse, we've looked forward to moving that offender registration unit over to this courthouse. It would amplify a little manpower utilization for us, free up a little space over in the additional LEC building. So that's one of the things that we're looking forward to this next year. And
crime in the county, what are some of the trends that you're seeing or some of the things that you're looking at moving forward?
Narcotics continues to be a horrible problem, not just here, but across this nation with the fentanyl craze. Consistently hospitals are getting overdoses in, and we're continuing to try to battle that, keep that off the street. That's a high priority for us. Work well with the Topeka Police Department and the surrounding jurisdictions. The bright spot is I was very pleased to see that the overall crime stats for our county has decreased tremendously, and there is a lot of public support and working with the law enforcement here in this area, and so that's a trend I would like to see keep going that way. So.
Okay.
Commissioner Ripa?
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks for the presentation. It's always a pleasure. Next item, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, cut off Randy.
I'm sorry. Randy?
Thank you, Commissioner. Just a couple quick announcements. This time of year again is our trout stocking at Lake Shawnee. We had a ice storm going on right now in central Missouri, so it's delaying our viewing. They're going to be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Lake Shawnee. This is the 43rd year of trout being at Lake Shawnee, so it's one of our fun programs for the whole community. And also, we have our first softball tournament of the year. It's being delayed starting Saturday, but it's with Washburn University. 14 teams, 6 from out of state are coming. They're using 2 of our fields at our Invista softball complex, so we're already reaping the benefits of our turf field, and I think this is going to turn into just like our boys, that we'll have small colleges playing all the time here in these first couple months. So it's an exciting time.
Now, Randy, this is a new tournament, right? This is relocated from another community? Or?
Yes. Well, I'm not real sure. I know they've used Hummer in the past for some of these, but they contacted us once we got our turf in, and they really wanted to be able to get the games in. And so in the weekend, it's supposed to be a little warmer. So hopefully it'll run Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with a full slate of games. So,
okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Commissioner Rippon?
I don't have anything.
Commissioner Cook?
No, I don't have anything either.
All right. Well, today I believe the Tiny Titans dinosaur exhibit opened at the Kansas Children's Discovery Center, so try and get your kids and grandkids out there to check that out. In addition to see the T-Rex at Great Overland Station. That's all I've got. So finally, next item, please.
Item 7, executive session.
Okay, we do have a need for executive session. I'll move that we go into executive session for a period not to exceed 30 minutes for the following reason. For consultation with an attorney for the public body or agency which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship to discuss the 707 Southwest Quincy and courthouse renovation projects. We do think that there is possible action after this executive session, so we'll see what happens, I guess. So that'll be for 30 minutes. Let's say we start at 9:45, just to give us a little bit of time to do other things first. So we're in executive session.
That's a
Oh,
motion.
I'm sorry, motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. We'll be in executive session soon.
If you want to breathe for a minute, go ahead.
All right, we're back from executive session. There was some action taken. We are directing the county
No,
counselor.
There wasn't any action.
There was-
There was no action taken in the executive session.
Right.
You're just
There was
going
no
to-
action taken in the
But you-
executive
But you need to
session,
make a motion now.
No, yes.
but I would make a motion that we direct Nelda Henning and Jim Crowell to negotiate a contract with a company to be named in a future meeting
Second.
for the renovations. So, motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. We're adjourned.
Make it cool.
No.